Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your hostess, femininity coach, and author of the Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. So I got a little clip here that I want to share with you guys. I'm not going to preface it too much, but here you go.
Harder to love a real one than it is to be in relationship with a fraud.
So again, for the people in the back.
It is so much harder to be in relationship with a real one than it is to be with a fraud. It's just hard because someone who holds you accountable to who you say you want to be, someone who recognizes your potential but meets you where you are, someone who wants your vulnerability. Like, I want to know how you think. I want to know why you made the choices you made. It requires a level of intimacy that you never have to do when you're just trying to see if someone's cheating and checking phone messages. And like, you don't have to be vulnerable in those relationships. You got to be tough. You got to be strong. You got to be hard. But now here comes someone that says, I want to be your soft place. And you got to figure out, how do I tear these walls down? And you have to figure out, how do I give this language? And how do I let them know up underneath this strength that there is still a broken 13-year-old girl, a broken 15-year-old girl. And I got to let you see her and to let you see how she sometimes gets upset and flares up. And it's petrifying to let someone that closely into your space.
And a lot of our women are damaged like this, and hence why they just embrace Pookie so much more than they embrace.
Now, she said a lot, and I think she said a lot, and it was true. And I've alluded to these things and said these things before on my channel, that the reason why broken women, because see, you got to understand that only women who are broken want to be in broken relationships because it's easy. It's easy from the standpoint of they know how to act when it comes to that. She know how to check a phone. And I'm not talking about her, this lady specifically on this video. I'm just talking about in general. She know how to check a phone. She know how to go off. She know how to be insecure. She know how to be suspicious. She knows how to have trust issues. She knows how to, she know how to do all of that stuff, right? That's the level of toxicity and immaturity that she has. So therefore, it's much simpler. It's a much simpler, although more chaotic choice to be with a man equally as chaotic as her, right? The guy that's going to go through all of that with her. That the guy that he doesn't have a good system, order, and structure. His leadership is bad or questionable. He's down with the foolish men as well. So it's easy to deal with those guys when you're a woman that's in that space, right? And this is why I push back against the concept that every woman is going for that type of guy. Broken women go for that type of guy. So good men should not even be worried about that, because why would you want that woman to come to you? To come to you and do what? You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes guys get upset or they feel away. Well, these kind of women, these women go after these dudes that don't have nothing going on, or, you know what I'm saying, not even nothing going on from a financial standpoint, but just a dude that doesn't have good leadership, that doesn't, you know what I'm saying, like dudes that just don't do that well. They're chaotic. They're a mess. They're too emotional and too, you know what I'm saying? They're not thinking clearly either. Those kinds of people deserve each other, actually. So good women and good men should not even be truly concerned about that from the standpoint of, why aren't they talking to me? Because who wants it? Who wants that level of drama and chaos in their life except somebody else who also has that? The men who accept women like that are chaotic as well. They are chaotic too. So they'll go along with it. And you wonder why a dude deal with a chick that's like that for 2 years and 3 years. That's because he's like that. He does it too. He engages with her. He doesn't correct her. He doesn't hold her accountable. He engages with her. He matches her energy in that way. So they are toxic together. Whether that toxicity is fighting each other, or whether that toxicity is, you know what I'm saying, it can take a lot of different forms. Just, you know what I'm saying, floating along. Nobody really has any direction about or intention about what this is really supposed to be. That's a form of chaos. You know what I'm saying? Just sort of flying by the seat of your pants. We don't know what this is going to be, and stuff just start happening. You know what I'm saying? It's just baby. That's how babies just happen, and you know, all that foolishness, right? But it is a more difficult thing, and it's difficult for the women who can't not bring themselves, but who can't accept order from a man that's actually giving it, because that holds you accountable. See, a lot of these chicks go with these broken men because they're broken, and they don't want the spotlight on their brokenness, their shortcomings, their red flags, their toxicity, their inability to uphold the true feminine space in a relationship. They don't know how to be women. So it's easier to get with men that lack and is deficient in his masculinity, so that the finger can always be pointed at him to say, well, I can't do this because you do this. I can't be expected to follow bad leadership and things of that nature. That's why when you ask the question, well, if he has bad leadership, why are you with him? There's never an answer to that question, right? There's never an answer to the question, because that's done in order to maintain that the accountability spotlight should never be shown on her. But see, it's a whole different story when you get around a man or get with a man that doesn't have all of those deficiencies, right? He does know how to set system, order, and structure. He does have leadership. He holds himself accountable. So therefore, when you get around him, he has already created an environment that holds you accountable. Because what people don't understand is that women are held accountable to system, order, and structures, not necessarily the individual. Women are held accountable to the system, order, and structure presented to her. She's held accountable to the standard presented to her. So when a man, this is why it's so important for men to have standards, because it weeds out the women who can't tolerate standards. That's why it's best for everybody, men and women, to have certain standards, and not expectations, real standards, actual standards that are coming from your value system, and making people be accountable to align with your value system or get out of your space, right? You can't share space with people that don't align. They're not even going to be comfortable with you. They're not even going to be comfortable. A man who has all of these qualities, a chick that can't do it, is not even going to be comfortable around this man. She going to like him because the security that all of this good leadership provides is going to feel good for her. The part that she not going to appreciate and that she doesn't know what to do with is the being held accountable, because she can't point the finger and say how bad of a leader he is and how bad of a man he is, in order to make sure that the conversation never turns to why she can't be a good woman and why she's not doing what she's supposed to be doing in her followership in this relationship. So if he has good leadership, that automatically puts a spotlight on her level of followership, and that exposes her lack of ability to do it, and or her lack of willingness to do it as well. Because see, there's a difference between I lack the ability, but I'm willing to do it, and I acquiesce quickly to this because I really been looking for this. I really been wanting to do it. And there's also a big difference between I don't know how to do it and I fight you tooth and nail every step of the way. It's like pulling teeth, right? She's not even really truly receptive. She's doing just enough of what she thinks is just enough for the man to kind of keep her around because she likes the security part of it, but she doesn't like the being held accountable part. She doesn't like the spotlight being on her, right? And it makes her sink or swim. She either has to elevate and step her game up as a woman. She has to step her femininity up. She has to step her womanhood up. She has to go address whatever unhealed, whatever. She's got to address it on her own, or the consequence is to lose access to this man. Now she's either that's how you that is actually how you vet, and that is actually how you tell the wheat from the chaff here. Because she either gonna be wheat or she gonna be chaff. And her actions are not going to be able to, she's not going to be able to disguise it, because it's going to expose it. His good leadership will expose her bad followership if she's a bad follower. And then what it does is it casts the light on her ability and affinity to be brought under order. If it's pulling teeth and she's fighting tooth and nail, hey, we don't really have time for that. Right? I'm telling you, that's the best vetting tool in anybody's pocket for the men and the women. If you're a lion, be a full-blown lion when you meet this woman. That don't mean let her take advantage of you. That just means be what you are, because it'll expose her faster. You won't have to waste time, and you won't have to be figuring out, is she being a chameleon? Is she doing this? Is she doing that? No, because she's not going to be able to fake that. You can't fake a woman that can't do followership can't fake followership. A woman who is not submissive in her spirit can't fake it. She can't, because there's going to be that tug of war for power. She's going to do it at some point. In some way, it's going to manifest itself. She's not going to be able to help herself. I give the same advice to a lioness. Don't be afraid of, well, if it doesn't work out, it's going to hurt and da-da-da-da-da. Be the lioness. Be the lioness, because it actually works the other way. If you're being a lioness and you're being in your femininity, you're being in your womanhood, you're being in your submission, that exposes his leadership, whether it's good or bad. And similarly to the female that can't take it, he won't be comfortable in your presence. It'll irritate him. It'll irritate him. Just like the female, basically a hyena getting with a lion, she gonna be irritated by him. Everything he do gonna really irritate her, because that's why they get he controlling, he abuse. That's where they get that from. That's why they say that kind of stuff. Because they want to be over there, because it is an emotional security. There's a security, there's a stability there that her inner woman is attracted to. But the hyena in her don't like it, because, again, and I know I'm being a broken record, she's being held accountable to it. She's just like this lady said, you're accountable to who you say you're trying to be. So if you come over here fronting like you a lioness, then a lion's good leadership and him just being a lion and him just being the type of man that's in his masculinity, he can be gentle, but he not gonna let you slide. You see what I'm saying? He can be calm about things. He can be nice about things. He can be supportive about things. But when a dude about to let you slide and when he mean what he said. He said what he said. He might have said it with a smile on his face, but that it was no less serious. He might have said it in a gentle, calm way. Most lions operate that way. but it was no less serious than had he said it if he were yelling. So then we're not going to be doing all of this foolishness and checking the phone and going, but he not even in that space. He's not even in that space. And that's what makes a toxic female uncomfortable, because now she doesn't understand the proper response to that. Because if she can't pull the antics and the shenanigans, now what? Now what do? That's why I say she can't fake it, because now that the shenanigans aren't even a part of this, we're not even going to go down that road at all. Now you got to show me what you made of, what you really made of. And it's going to come out. It's going to come out sooner rather than later. Right? It's going to come out sooner rather than later. And then it'll be up to the man how many chances he give to whatever's going on. But she's still going to show it. It's still going to show, because, again, she's not going to understand what the proper feminine response to his masculinity is supposed to be. She's not going to take correction well. So when he do correct her, that's going to be a problem. I'm telling you. What she said was facts, though. Jump down in the comment section and let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your hostess, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.